The Adventures of the Phoenix Princess. Chapter 1, The Encounter with the Knight, Phoenix. In the ancient kingdom of Solaria, where the sun's rays always bathed the land in a warm golden light, lived Princess Ignisia. Unlike any other royal, Princess Ignisia had a unique gift that made her stand out. She was the Phoenix Princess, blessed with the power of fire and the ability to communicate with the mystical creatures of her realm. Her best friend and loyal companion was Flare, a majestic firebird with brilliant plumage that glowed like embers in the night. Princess Ignisia loved to explore the vast and enchanted forests surrounding the kingdom. She found solace among the trees, and her fiery presence seemed to bring a magical warmth to the woodland creatures. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned a deep shade of purple, Ignisia and Flare embarked on one of their twilight adventures. As they wandered deeper into the forest, the air grew cooler, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves. Suddenly, Flare let out a soft, concerned chirp. Ignisia turned to her friend, her fiery eyes reflecting the worry in Flare's gaze. "What is it, Flare?" she asked, her voice as soothing as a crackling hearth. Flare took flight, leading Ignisia to a clearing bathed in the silvery light of the moon. There, lying on the ground, was a magnificent bird unlike any Ignisia had ever seen. Its feathers shimmered with an ethereal glow, dark as the midnight sky, yet speckled with tiny, star-like spots. This was the night phoenix, a rare and elusive creature that roamed the world only under the cover of darkness. The night phoenix looked up at Ignisia with sorrowful eyes, one of its wings bent at an unnatural angle. The princess knelt beside the injured bird, her heart aching at the sight. "Don't worry, beautiful creature," she whispered. "We'll find a way to help you." Ignisia gently touched the night phoenix's wing, feeling the pulse of its magical energy. She knew that traditional remedies wouldn't be enough to heal such a mystical being. As the Phoenix Princess, she needed to find a solution that matched the bird's unique nature. Flare chirped softly, nuzzling Ignisia's cheek, as if to remind her that they weren't alone in this quest. Ignitia smiled, grateful for her loyal friend's support. "We'll need to seek the wisdom of the ancient fire spirits," Ignisia declared. "They may know how to mend the night phoenix's wing." With a determined heart, Ignisia and Flare set off towards the Heart of Flame, a sacred place hidden deep within the forest. It was said that the fire spirits dwelled there, guarding the ancient secrets of the phoenixes. The journey was arduous, with the dense forest growing darker and more mysterious with each step. But Ignisia's resolve never wavered, her fiery aura lighting the way. After hours of trekking, they finally reached the Heart of Flame, a clearing where the ground was made of blackened, charred earth, and the air was thick with the scent of smoldering wood. Ignisia approached the center of the clearing and called out to the fire spirits. "Great spirits of the flame, I seek your guidance." From the flickering shadows emerged 3 fire spirits, their forms shifting and dancing like living flames. They regarded Ignisia with ancient, knowing eyes. "Princess Ignisia," one of the spirits intoned, "what brings you to our sacred ground?" Ignisia bowed respectfully. "A night phoenix is injured, and I seek your wisdom to heal its wing. Can you help us?" The spirits exchanged glances, their fiery forms flickering with curiosity and concern. "The night phoenix is a creature of the night, bound by the magic of darkness and stars," the second spirit said. "To heal its wing, you must find the nightshade blossom, a rare flower that blooms only under the light of a full moon. The nightshade blossom possesses the power to mend even the most magical of wounds," the third spirit added. "But be warned, princess, it grows in the heart of the Shadow Grove, a place where light dares not tread." Ignitia nodded, her resolve unwavering. "Thank you, great spirits. I will find the nightshade blossom and heal the night phoenix." With renewed determination, Ignisia and Flare left the Heart of Flame and made their way to the Shadow Grove. The forest grew darker and more foreboding, but Ignitia's fiery spirit burned bright, casting away the shadows. The Shadow Grove was a place of eerie beauty, with twisted trees and an otherworldly silence. Ignitia carefully searched the ground, her eyes scanning for the elusive nightshade blossom. After what felt like an eternity, she spotted a faint, silvery glow in the distance. "There it is, Flare," she whispered, pointing to the delicate flower bathed in moonlight. Carefully, Ignisia approached the nightshade blossom and plucked it from the ground. The flower's petals felt cool and soothing in her hand, radiating a gentle magic. With the nightshade blossom in hand, Ignisia and Flare hurried back to the clearing where the night phoenix lay. The bird looked up at them with hopeful eyes as Ignisia knelt beside it once more. "Hold still, beautiful creature," she said softly. "This will heal you." Ignisia crushed the nightshade blossom in her hand, releasing its magical essence. She gently applied the glowing petals to the night phoenix's injured wing, watching as the flower's magic seeped into the bird's feathers. A soft, silvery light enveloped the night phoenix, and Ignisia could feel the magic working. Slowly, the bird's wing began to mend, the feathers aligning perfectly as if they had never been damaged. The night phoenix stood, stretching its newly healed wing and letting out a melodic cry of gratitude. Ignisia smiled, her heart swelling with joy. "You are free to fly again," she said, her voice filled with warmth. The night phoenix spread its wings wide, the starry feathers shimmering in the moonlight. With a powerful flap, it soared into the sky, its graceful form disappearing into the night. Ignisia watched the night phoenix fly away, a sense of fulfillment washing over her. She had helped a mystical creature in need and proved once again that the Phoenix Princess was a true guardian of her realm. As the first light of dawn began to break, Ignisia and Flare made their way back to the castle, their spirits high. They had faced a great challenge and emerged victorious, their bond stronger than ever. And so, the adventures of Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird friend continued, each new journey bringing them closer to the magic and mysteries of their enchanted kingdom. For in the heart of Solaria, where the sun always shone and the phoenixes soared, the Phoenix Princess reigned with courage, compassion, and an unquenchable fire that burned brighter than the sun itself. Chapter 2: The Mischievous Fire Bunnies. In the heart of Solaria, where the sun's warmth embraced the land and magic thrived in every corner, Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird friend, Flare, roamed freely, seeking new adventures. Ignisia, with her fiery spirit and kind heart, loved exploring the enchanted forests and discovering the hidden wonders of her kingdom. Flare, with his radiant plumage and playful nature, was always by her side, ready for any challenge. One sunny afternoon, Ignisia and Flare decided to venture into a part of the forest they had never explored before. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the forest buzzed with the sounds of life. As they wandered deeper into the woods, Ignisia noticed a peculiar mound of earth, intricately woven with twigs and leaves, almost hidden among the underbrush. "Look at this, Flare," Ignisia said, pointing to the mound. "It looks like someone has made a little house here." Curiosity piqued, Ignisia took a step closer, accidentally pressing her foot onto the mound. Suddenly, the ground beneath them began to tremble, and a chorus of high-pitched squeaks filled the air. Ignisia and Flare stepped back, their eyes widening in surprise. From the mound burst a swarm of tiny, fiery creatures with glowing eyes and fur that sparkled like embers. They were fire bunnies, small yet fiercely protective of their home. "Oh no, Flare! We must have stepped on their house!" Ignisia exclaimed, realizing their mistake. The fire bunnies, feeling threatened, began to chase Ignisia and Flare, their little legs moving surprisingly fast. Ignisia and Flare dashed through the forest, trying to outrun the determined bunnies. Despite their best efforts, the fire bunnies were relentless. In the midst of the chase, one particularly swift fire bunny leapt forward and bit Flare on the foot. Flare let out a pained chirp and stumbled, his wing flaring with distress. Ignisia turned back, her heart aching at the sight of her injured friend. "Hold on, Flare! We've got to get you to a hospital!" Ignisia shouted, scooping Flare into her arms and sprinting through the forest. With the fire bunnies still hot on their trail, Ignisia raced towards the forest hospital, a magical place where healers tended to the creatures of the enchanted woods. The hospital, nestled in a serene clearing, glowed with a gentle light, its doors always open to those in need. Bursting through the doors, Ignisia called out, "Help, my friend is hurt!" The healers, skilled in the art of magical medicine, rushed to Ignisia's side. They gently took Flare from her arms and laid him on a soft, glowing bed. One of the healers, a wise old owl named Hoot, examined Flare's injured foot. "It looks like a fire bunny bite," Hoot said, his eyes twinkling with understanding. "But don't worry, we can heal him." The healers worked quickly, applying a soothing salve made from the essence of moonflowers and stardust. Flair's pained chirps gradually turned into contented coos as the magic took effect, healing the bite and easing his pain. Ignisia watched with relief as Flair began to recover. "Thank you so much," she said to the healers. "I was so worried about him." Hoot nodded kindly. "Fire bunnies can be quite protective of their homes. It's best to be mindful when exploring the forest." Ignisia smiled gratefully. "We'll be more careful from now on." Once Flair was fully healed, Ignisia and her friend prepared to leave the hospital. As they stepped outside, they saw the fire bunnies gathered at the edge of the clearing, their fiery eyes watching curiously. Ignisia approached them slowly, kneeling down to their level. "I'm sorry for stepping on your home," she said gently. "We didn't mean to cause any harm." The fire bunnies seemed to understand her sincerity. One of them, the same bunny that had bitten Flair, hopped forward and nuzzled Ignisia's hand, its fur warm and soft. Ignisia smiled, feeling a sense of forgiveness in the bunny's gesture. With the fire bunny's hostility turning into a newfound friendship, Ignisia and Flair bade farewell to their healers and new friends. They continued their adventures, now more mindful of the delicate balance of the enchanted forest. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the land, Ignisia and Flair returned to the castle, their bond stronger and their hearts full of gratitude. They had faced another challenge and learned the importance of respect and understanding in their magical world. And so, the adventures of Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird friend continued, each new journey bringing them closer to the heart of Solaria's enchanting mysteries. For in the realm of the Phoenix Princess, every day was a new adventure, filled with wonder, courage, and the warmth of friendship that burned brighter than any flame. The Adventures of the Phoenix Princess. Chapter 3. The Whispering Woods. In the radiant kingdom of Solaria, where the sun always shone brightly and magic flowed through the air, Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird friend Flair were known for their brave and compassionate hearts. They had faced many challenges together, always emerging stronger and wiser. Their latest adventure, however, would take them to a place shrouded in mystery and legend, the Whispering Woods. The Whispering Woods lay at the farthest edge of Solaria, a place where few dared to venture. It was said that the trees there whispered secrets of the past and future to those who listened closely. Intrigued by these tales, Ignisia and Flair decided to explore the woods and uncover its secrets. One morning, as the first rays of sunlight kissed the land, Ignisia and Flair set off on their journey. They traveled through lush meadows and over babbling brooks, finally reaching the edge of the Whispering Woods by midday. The entrance to the forest was marked by ancient, gnarled trees whose branches intertwined to form a natural archway. Ignisia stepped through the archway, her fiery aura illuminating the path ahead. Flair perched on her shoulder, his feathers glowing softly. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the air grew cooler, and the sounds of the outside world faded away, replaced by a gentle, almost ethereal whispering. "Can you hear that, Flair?" Ignisia asked, her voice hushed in awe. Flair chirped softly, his keen eyes scanning the surroundings. The whispers seemed to come from the trees themselves, their leaves rustling with secrets long forgotten. As they walked, the whispers grew louder and more distinct. Ignisia paused beneath an ancient oak tree, its trunk wide and sturdy. She placed her hand on the bark, closing her eyes to listen. The tree's whispers told of a hidden glade deep within the woods, where a magical spring flowed with water that could grant visions of the future. "We must find this glade," Ignisia said, determination shining in her eyes. "Imagine what we could learn from the spring." Guided by the whispers, Ignisia and Flair journeyed deeper into the forest. The path became more winding and overgrown, but Ignisia's fiery presence kept the way lit and clear. After hours of walking, they finally reached the hidden glade. It was a serene, enchanting place, bathed in a soft, golden light. At the center of the glade was the magical spring, its waters sparkling like liquid stardust. Ignisia knelt beside the spring, peering into its depths. The water shimmered and swirled, reflecting her face with a mystical glow. She cupped her hands and took a sip, feeling the cool liquid flow through her, filling her with a sense of wonder and clarity. As she drank, visions began to form in her mind. She saw her kingdom, Solaria, bathed in light and prosperity. She saw her people, happy and thriving under her rule. But then the vision shifted, showing a shadow creeping across the land, threatening to engulf the kingdom in darkness. Ignisia gasped, pulling back from the spring. Flare chirped anxiously, sensing her distress. "We have to protect Solaria from this darkness," Ignisia said, her voice steady despite the fear in her heart. "But how?" The whispers of the trees grew louder, as if urging her to listen. Ignisia closed her eyes, focusing on the murmurs. The trees spoke of an ancient artifact hidden within the whispering woods, a relic of great power that could banish the darkness and restore light to the land. "We must find this artifact," Ignisia said, determination hardening her resolve. "It's the key to saving Solaria." With the guidance of the whispers, Ignisia and Flare continued their quest, searching for the hidden artifact. The forest seemed to come alive around them, the trees bending and shifting to reveal hidden paths and clues. After a long and arduous journey, they finally reached a secluded grove where the artifact lay hidden. It was a beautiful, intricately carved pendant, glowing with a soft, golden light. Ignisia reached out and took the pendant in her hand, feeling its warmth and power. She knew that this artifact was the hope of her kingdom, the light that would drive away the coming darkness. With the pendant safely in her possession, Ignisia and Flare made their way back through the whispering woods. The whisper seemed to cheer them on, their murmurs filled with encouragement and hope. As they emerged from the forest, the sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the land. Ignisia looked at Flare, her loyal companion, and smiled. They had faced many challenges together, and she knew that with Flare by her side, they could overcome anything. "We have the power to protect Solaria," Ignisia said, her voice filled with conviction, "and we will." Together, they returned to the castle, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. For in the heart of the Phoenix Princess, courage burned as brightly as the sun, and with the power of the Whispering Woods at her side, she was ready to light the way for her kingdom. And so, the adventures of Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird friend continued, each new journey bringing them closer to the heart of Solaria's magic and mysteries. For in the realm of the Phoenix Princess, every day was a new adventure, filled with wonder, bravery, and the unbreakable bond of friendship. The Adventures of the Phoenix Princess. Chapter 4, The Crystal Caverns. In the luminous kingdom of Solaria, where the magic of the sun intertwined with the land, Princess Ignisia and her faithful firebird, Flare, embarked on countless adventures. Their latest journey would take them to the mysterious Crystal Caverns, a place of awe-inspiring beauty and hidden perils. One bright morning, Ignisia stood on the castle balcony, gazing out at the horizon. Flare, perched on the railing, chirped softly, sensing his friend's contemplative mood. "I've heard tales of the Crystal Caverns, Flare," Ignisia said, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "They say the caverns hold ancient crystals with immense magical power. We should explore them and see what wonders we can find." With their hearts set on the new adventure, Ignisia and Flare set off towards the mountains, where the crystal caverns were said to be hidden. The journey was long and challenging, with steep paths and rocky terrain, but Ignisia's determination and Flare's unwavering spirit kept them going. As they neared the mountains, the air grew cooler and the landscape became more rugged. The entrance to the crystal caverns was a large, jagged opening in the mountainside, glowing with a faint, iridescent light. Ignisia and Flare entered the caverns, their eyes widening in amazement at the sight before them. The walls of the caverns were lined with crystals of all shapes and sizes, their facets reflecting a dazzling array of colors. The light from Ignisia's fiery aura danced across the surfaces, creating a mesmerizing display of light and shadow. "This place is incredible," Ignisia whispered, her voice echoing softly through the caverns. "I can feel the magic in the air." As they ventured deeper into the caverns, the crystals grew larger and more intricate. Flare flew ahead, his feathers casting a warm glow that illuminated the path. Suddenly, he let out a warning chirp, stopping in midair. Ignisia hurried to his side, her eyes scanning the area for danger. In the heart of the caverns, they found an enormous crystal, unlike any they had seen before. It was a deep, rich blue and pulsed with a rhythmic, gentle light. Ignisia approached it cautiously, sensing a powerful energy emanating from within. "This must be the heart crystal," Ignisia said, her voice filled with awe. "The source of the cavern's magic." As she reached out to touch the crystal, a deep rumbling sound echoed through the caverns. The ground shook and cracks began to form in the crystal walls. Ignisia and Flare exchanged worried glances. "We need to find out what's causing this," Ignisia said, determination in her eyes. They followed the sound of the rumbling deeper into the caverns, navigating through narrow passages and steep drops. Finally, they reached a large chamber where a group of earth elementals, creatures made of stone and crystal, were gathered. They seemed agitated, their movements causing the caverns to tremble. Ignisia stepped forward, her fiery aura glowing brightly. "Greetings, guardians of the earth. I am Princess Ignisia of Solaria. What troubles you?" One of the earth elementals, larger and more formidable than the others, stepped forward. "Princess Ignisia, we are the guardians of the heart crystal. Recently, a dark force has been trying to corrupt it. We are struggling to protect it, but our power alone is not enough." Ignisia nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "We must work together to save the heart crystal and restore balance to the caverns." With the earth elemental's guidance, Ignisia and Flare devised a plan to strengthen the heart crystal's defenses. Ignisia used her fiery magic to create a protective barrier around the crystal, while the elementals focused their energy on reinforcing the cavern walls. As they worked, the dark force revealed itself, taking the form of shadowy tendrils that reached for the heart crystal. Ignisia and Flare fought bravely, their combined powers creating bursts of light and fire that pushed back the darkness. The earth elementals lent their strength, their stony forms standing firm against the onslaught. After a fierce battle, the last of the shadowy tendrils retreated and the heart crystal glowed with a renewed, radiant light. The caverns stopped trembling and a sense of peace settled over the chamber. "We did it," Ignisia said, her voice filled with relief and triumph. "The heart crystal is safe." The leader of the earth elementals bowed respectfully to Ignisia. "You have our deepest gratitude, Princess. Your bravery and magic have saved our home." Ignisia smiled warmly. "We are all guardians of this land. It is our duty to protect it." With the heart crystal safe and the caverns restored to their former glory, Ignisia and Flare bid farewell to the earth elementals and began their journey back to the castle. The path seemed easier now, their hearts light with the knowledge of their success. As they returned to Solaria, the sun setting in a blaze of colors, Ignisia and Flare felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, their bond stronger than ever. And so the adventures of Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird friend continued, each new journey bringing them closer to the heart of Solaria's magic and mysteries. For in the realm of the Phoenix Princess, every day was a new adventure, filled with wonder, bravery, and the unbreakable bond of friendship. The Adventures of the Phoenix Princess. Chapter 5. The Enchanted Grove. In the resplendent kingdom of Solaria, where the sun's warmth caressed the land and magic infused every corner, Princess Ignisia and her steadfast firebird, Flare, were always on the lookout for new adventures. Their latest quest would lead them to the legendary Enchanted Grove, a place said to be filled with ancient magic and hidden wonders. One morning, while exploring the castle library, Ignisia stumbled upon an old dusty book with a worn leather cover. Intrigued, she opened it to find a map leading to the Enchanted Grove. The map detailed a path through the forest, past a series of mystical landmarks. "Flare, look at this," Ignisia said, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "The Enchanted Grove. We have to find it." Flare chirped enthusiastically, his feathers shimmering with anticipation. With their path set, Ignisia and Flare left the castle and headed into the forest, following the ancient map's directions. Their journey led them through lush, verdant woods and over sparkling streams. Along the way, they encountered the landmarks mentioned in the book: the Singing Stones, which hummed a melodic tune when touched; the Rainbow Falls, a cascading waterfall that reflected all the colors of the spectrum; and the Whispering Pines, trees that murmured secrets of the past. After days of travel, they finally reached the entrance to the Enchanted Grove. The grove was surrounded by a circle of ancient trees, their branches intertwined to form a natural gateway. As they stepped through the gateway, a sense of awe washed over them. The enchanted grove was a place of breathtaking beauty. The trees glowed with an inner light, their leaves shimmering like jewels. Flowers of every color carpeted the ground, their petals sparkling with dew. In the center of the grove stood an enormous ancient tree, its trunk twisted and gnarled with age. This was the heart tree, the source of the grove's magic. Ignisia and Flare approached the heart tree, marveling at its grandeur. As they drew closer, they noticed a faint glow emanating from a hollow in the tree's trunk. Inside the hollow, a small, delicate sapling grew, its leaves shimmering with a golden light. "This must be the heart tree's sapling," Ignisia whispered, "the source of its power." Suddenly, a figure emerged from behind the heart tree. It was a forest spirit, tall and graceful, with hair like flowing leaves and eyes that glowed with an ancient wisdom. "Welcome, Princess Ignisia," the forest spirit said in a melodic voice. "I am Sophira, guardian of the enchanted grove. You have been chosen to protect the heart tree's sapling." Ignisia bowed respectfully. "It is an honor, Sophira. How can I help?" Sophira's expression grew serious. "A dark force seeks to corrupt the heart tree's magic. You must take the sapling to the sunlit glade, where it will be safe and can grow strong under the sun's protection." Ignisia nodded, determination in her eyes. "I will do whatever it takes to protect the sapling." Carefully, she dug around the sapling's roots and lifted it from the hollow, cradling it gently in her arms. With Flare by her side, she set off towards the sunlit glade, guided by Sophira's directions. The journey to the sunlit glade was fraught with danger. The dark force Sophira had warned about manifested as shadowy creatures that lurked in the forest, trying to hinder their progress. Ignisia and Flare fought bravely, their combined powers creating bursts of light and fire that drove the shadows away. After a long and arduous journey, they finally reached the sunlit glade. The glade was a serene, open space bathed in golden sunlight, its beauty untouched by the shadows. Ignisia carefully planted the sapling in the center of the glade, ensuring its roots were secure. As soon as the sapling touched the earth, a radiant light burst forth, enveloping the glade. The dark force that had pursued them dissipated, unable to withstand the sapling's pure golden light. The heart tree's magic was safe once more. Sophira appeared beside them, her expression filled with gratitude. "You have done a great deed, Princess Ignisia. The heart tree's magic will continue to thrive, thanks to your bravery." Ignisia smiled, her heart swelling with pride and relief. It was an honor to protect the grove. With their mission complete, Ignisia and Flare returned to the castle, their spirits high. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, their bond stronger than ever. And so, the adventures of Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird friend continued, each new journey bringing them closer to the heart of Solaria's magic and mysteries. For in the realm of the Phoenix Princess, every day was a new adventure, filled with wonder, bravery, and the unbreakable bond of friendship. The Adventures of the Phoenix Princess. Chapter 6, The Forgotten Realm. In the radiant kingdom of Solaria, where the sun's embrace kept the land warm and vibrant, Princess Ignisia and her faithful firebird Flare were renowned for their daring adventures. Their latest quest would lead them to a place long forgotten by time and hidden from the eyes of ordinary folk, the Forgotten Realm. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of colors, Ignisia sat in the castle garden, reading an ancient scroll she had discovered in the royal archives. The scroll spoke of the Forgotten Realm, a place of incredible magic and wonder, sealed away by powerful enchantments. Intrigued by the mysteries it promised, Ignisia knew she had to uncover its secrets. "Flare," Ignisia called, her voice filled with excitement. "We have a new adventure ahead of us. We must find the Forgotten Realm." Flare chirped in agreement, his fiery plumage glowing in the fading light. With their path set, Ignisia and Flare prepared for the journey, gathering supplies and studying the clues in the scroll. The next morning, they set off, following the ancient map inscribed on the scroll. Their journey took them through familiar forests and across sparkling rivers. But as they ventured further, the landscape began to change. The air grew cooler, and a sense of timelessness hung in the atmosphere. After several days of travel, they reached the edge of the known world, a place where the map ended and a dense, impenetrable fog began. Ignisia and Flare stepped into the fog, feeling its dampness cling to their skin and feathers. The world around them became eerily silent, and the light of the sun dimmed to a soft glow. "Stay close, Flare," Ignisia said, her voice barely a whisper in the thick mist. They navigated through the fog, using the scroll's clues to guide them. Eventually, they emerged into a breathtakingly beautiful land, unlike anything they had ever seen. The Forgotten Realm was a place of lush meadows, crystal-clear lakes, and towering mountains that sparkled with a strange, otherworldly light. Flowers of every color carpeted the ground, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming plants. "This place is incredible," Ignacia murmured, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's like a paradise hidden from the world." As they explored further, they came across a grand, ancient city, its buildings crafted from gleaming white stone and adorned with intricate carvings. The city seemed deserted, but a sense of history and magic permeated the air. Ignacia and Flare wandered through the empty streets, their footsteps echoing softly. They reached the center of the city, where a magnificent palace stood, its towers reaching towards the sky. The palace doors, made of solid gold, were slightly ajar. With a sense of anticipation, Ignacia pushed open the doors and stepped inside. The interior of the palace was just as grand, with vast halls and opulent chambers. In the heart of the palace, they found a vast throne room, its walls lined with tapestries depicting scenes of magic and heroism. At the far end of the throne room stood a figure, cloaked in shimmering light. As Ignacia and Flare approached, the figure turned, revealing a regal woman with flowing silver hair and eyes that sparkled like stars. "Welcome, Princess Ignisia," the woman said, her voice melodic and filled with warmth. "I am Queen Seraphina, ruler of the Forgotten Realm." Ignisia bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, it's an honor to meet you. I've come to learn about this realm and its secrets." Queen Seraphina smiled kindly. "The Forgotten Realm is a place of great magic, hidden from the world to protect its wonders. But now, a great danger threatens both our realms." Ignisia's expression grew serious. "What kind of danger?" "A dark sorcerer named Malachar seeks to harness the magic of the Forgotten Realm for his own evil purposes," Seraphina explained. "If he succeeds, both our realms will fall into darkness." Ignisia's resolve hardened. "We must stop him. How can I help?" "To defeat Malachar, we must retrieve the Crystal of Light, an ancient artifact hidden deep within the Cavern of Echoes," Seraphina said. "With its power, we can banish the darkness and protect our realms." Ignacia nodded, determination in her eyes. "We'll find the Crystal of Light." With Seraphina's guidance, Ignacia and Flare set off towards the Cavern of Echoes. The journey was perilous, taking them through dense forests, across treacherous mountains, and over roaring rivers. Along the way, they encountered various magical creatures, some friendly and others not. Each challenge tested their courage and resolve. After days of travel, they finally reached the Cavern of Echoes, a vast cave system that resonated with a haunting melody. Ignisia and Flare entered the cavern, their path illuminated by the soft glow of Ignisia's fiery aura. The cavern was filled with intricate rock formations and sparkling crystals that cast shimmering reflections on the walls. As they ventured deeper, the melody grew louder, guiding them towards the heart of the cave. In the deepest chamber, they found the Crystal of Light, a large, multifaceted gem that glowed with a brilliant white light. The crystal was guarded by a colossal stone golem, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. Ignacia stepped forward, her fiery aura blazing brightly. "We need the Crystal of Light to save our realms." The golem rumbled, its voice deep and resonant. "Prove your worth, Princess of Solaria. Only the brave and pure of heart may wield the Crystal of Light." Ignacia nodded, standing tall. "We will prove ourselves." The golem challenged them to a series of trials, each one testing their strength, wisdom, and bravery. Ignisia and Flare faced each trial with unwavering determination, using their unique abilities and unbreakable bond to overcome the obstacles. The final trial was a battle against the golem itself. Ignisia and Flare fought valiantly, their combined powers creating dazzling displays of light and fire. After a fierce battle, they emerged victorious, the golem acknowledging their courage and granting them the Crystal of Light. With the Crystal of Light in hand, Ignisia and Flare returned to the palace, where Queen Seraphina awaited them. The queen took the crystal, its light filling the throne room with a radiant glow. With this, we can defeat Malachar and save our realms, Seraphina said, her voice filled with hope. Using the Crystal of Light's power, Seraphina and Ignisia created a powerful spell to banish Malachar's darkness. Together, they unleashed the spell, its light spreading across the realms and driving back the shadows. Malachar's power was broken, and peace was restored. Queen Seraphina smiled warmly at Ignisia. You have done a great deed, Princess. The Forgotten Realm is forever in your debt. Ignisia bowed humbly. It was an honor to protect this magical place. With their mission complete, Ignisia and Flare bid farewell to Queen Seraphina and the Forgotten Realm. They returned to Solaria, their hearts full of pride and joy. They had faced a great evil and emerged victorious, their bond stronger than ever. And so, the adventures of Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird friend continued, each new journey bringing them closer to the heart of Solaria's magic and mysteries. For in the realm of the Phoenix Princess, every day was a new adventure, filled with wonder, bravery, and the unbreakable bond of friendship. The Adventures of the Phoenix Princess. Chapter 7, The Celestial Garden. In the radiant kingdom of Solaria, where the sun's light intertwined with the magic of the land, Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird Flare were known for their brave and compassionate hearts. Their latest adventure would take them to a place beyond the skies, the Celestial Garden, a mystical realm where the stars were said to bloom as flowers. One evening, as Ignisia stood on the castle balcony gazing at the twinkling stars, she noticed a bright, shimmering comet streak across the sky. As it disappeared over the horizon, a sense of wonder filled her heart. Flare, she called, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Did you see that comet? I feel like it's calling us to something amazing. Flare chirped in agreement, his fiery plumage glowing in the moonlight. Intrigued by the comet, Ignisia decided to consult the ancient texts in the royal library, hoping to uncover its significance. After hours of searching, Ignisia found a dusty old book with a celestial symbol on its cover. Inside, it spoke of the Celestial Garden, a legendary place where the stars themselves blossomed as flowers, and where immense wisdom and magic could be found. The book also mentioned that comets were said to be the keys to accessing the garden. This is it, Flare, Ignisia said, her voice filled with determination. We need to follow the comet's path and find the Celestial Garden. With their hearts set on the new adventure, Ignisia and Flare prepared for the journey. Guided by the comet's trail, they ventured into the night, traversing the forests and hills of Solaria under the cover of starlight. After days of travel, they reached a secluded, ancient shrine where the comet had seemed to land. The shrine was adorned with celestial symbols and surrounded by a tranquil, glowing aura. In the center of the shrine was a crystal orb, pulsing with an ethereal light. This must be the gateway to the Celestial Garden, Ignisia said, her voice hushed with reverence. As she touched the crystal orb, a bright light enveloped them, and they found themselves transported to a breathtakingly beautiful realm. The Celestial Garden was a place of otherworldly beauty, with flowers that glowed like stars, trees that shimmered with silver leaves, and streams that sparkled like liquid moonlight. This place is incredible, Ignisia whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. As they explored the garden, they encountered a variety of magical creatures, each more wondrous than the last. Celestial butterflies with wings that sparkled like the night sky, gentle star deer with antlers made of starlight, and glowing fireflies that danced in the air. In the heart of the garden, they found a grand, ancient tree, its branches reaching towards the heavens. This was the celestial tree, the source of the garden's magic. At its base sat a wise old owl, its feathers shimmering with a celestial glow. "Welcome, Princess Ignisia," the owl said in a melodious voice. "I am Orion, guardian of the Celestial Garden. You have been chosen to protect this sacred place." Ignisia bowed respectfully. "It is an honor, Orion. How can I help?" Orion's eyes glowed with ancient wisdom. "A dark force seeks to corrupt the magic of the Celestial Garden. To protect it, you must find the star seeds, hidden throughout the garden. Planting them around the celestial tree will strengthen its magic and ward off the darkness." Ignisia nodded, her resolve firm. "We will find the star seeds and protect the garden." Guided by Orion, Ignisia and Flare set off to find the star seeds. The garden was vast and filled with hidden paths and secret places. Along the way, they encountered various challenges. each testing their courage, wisdom, and teamwork. In a grove filled with glowing lilies, they faced a challenge of intelligence, solving a series of celestial puzzles to uncover the first starseed. In a meadow where the stars danced in the air, they faced a trial of agility, navigating through a labyrinth of light to find the second starseed. In a serene glade where the moon cast its gentle light, they faced a test of bravery, confronting and defeating shadowy creatures that guarded the third starseed. With all three starseeds in hand, Ignisia and Flare returned to the celestial tree. As they planted the seeds around its base, a radiant light spread through the garden, strengthening its magic and driving back the dark force that threatened it. Orion watched with approval, his eyes filled with gratitude. "You have done a great deed, Princess Ignisia. The celestial garden is safe, thanks to your bravery and dedication." Ignisia smiled, her heart swelling with pride and joy. It was an honor to protect this magical place. With their mission complete, Ignisia and Flare bid farewell to Orion and the celestial garden. The crystal orb transported them back to Solaria, where the dawn was just beginning to break, casting a golden glow over the land. As they returned to the castle, Ignisia felt a renewed sense of purpose and wonder. They had faced great challenges and emerged victorious, their bond stronger than ever. And so the adventures of Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird friend continued, each new journey bringing them closer to the heart of Solaria's magic and mysteries. For in the realm of the Phoenix Princess, every day was a new adventure, filled with wonder, bravery, and the unbreakable bond of friendship. The Adventures of the Phoenix Princess. Chapter 8, The Dragon's Lair. In the luminous kingdom of Solaria, where magic flowed as freely as the rivers and the sun's warmth enveloped the land, Princess Ignisia and her faithful firebird Flare were always on the lookout for new adventures. Their latest quest would lead them to a place of legend and danger, the Dragon's Lair. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in shades of red and gold, Ignisia sat in the castle library, engrossed in an old book of legends. Flare perched nearby, his feathers glowing softly in the fading light. The book told tales of a powerful dragon that once roamed the skies of Solaria, guarding a treasure of immense value. The dragon had vanished long ago, but its lair was said to still exist, hidden in the treacherous peaks of the Crimson Mountains. "Flare, look at this," Ignisia said, her eyes wide with excitement. "A dragon's lair, filled with ancient treasures and guarded by powerful magic. We must find it." Flare chirped in agreement, his fiery plumage reflecting Ignisia's enthusiasm. With their minds set on the new adventure, they gathered supplies and prepared for the journey to the Crimson Mountains. Early the next morning, they set off, following the ancient map inscribed in the book. Their journey took them through dense forests, across vast plains, and finally to the foothills of the Crimson Mountains. The mountains loomed high above them, their peaks shrouded in clouds and their slopes covered in a deep red hue. "The Crimson Mountains," Ignisia murmured, her voice filled with awe. "This is where the dragon's lair lies." With Flare by her side, Ignisia began the arduous climb up the mountains. The path was steep and rocky, but Ignisia's determination and Flare's unwavering spirit kept them going. As they climbed higher, the air grew colder and thinner, and the landscape became more rugged. After days of climbing, they finally reached a narrow ledge that led to the entrance of a large cave. The cave mouth was adorned with ancient runes that glowed faintly in the dim light, and the air was filled with a sense of foreboding. "This must be it," Ignisia said, her voice hushed with reverence. "The dragon's lair." As they entered the cave, the temperature dropped even further, and the walls glistened with frost. The cave was vast and filled with intricate tunnels and chambers. Ignisia and Flare carefully navigated through the labyrinth, their path illuminated by the soft glow of Ignisia's fiery aura. In the deepest chamber of the cave, they found the dragon's hoard. Piles of gold, jewels, and ancient artifacts glittered in the dim light. At the center of the hoard lay a massive, slumbering dragon, its scales shimmering with an otherworldly light. "We must be careful, Flare," Ignisia whispered. "We don't want to wake the dragon." As they carefully approached the treasure, Ignisia's eyes were drawn to a large, ornate chest. The chest was adorned with intricate carvings and seemed to emanate a powerful magical energy. Ignisia reached out to open the chest, but as her fingers brushed the lid, the dragon stirred. With a low, rumbling growl, the dragon opened its eyes and fixed its gaze on Ignisia and Flare. "Who dares to enter my lair?" it demanded, its voice echoing through the chamber. Ignisia took a step back, her heart pounding. "Great dragon, I am Princess Ignisia of Solaria. We seek knowledge and wisdom, not your treasure." The dragon's eyes narrowed, and it let out a huff of smoke. "Many have come seeking my hoard, but none have left with what they desired. Why should I trust you?" Ignisia stood tall, her fiery aura blazing brightly. "Because we come in peace and seek to protect our kingdom. We believe that the knowledge and magic hidden here could help us defend Solaria from any threat." The dragon regarded her for a long moment before finally nodding. "Very well, Princess Ignisia. I will allow you to take one item from my hoard, but choose wisely, for the fate of your kingdom may depend on it." Ignisia looked around the chamber, her eyes scanning the piles of treasure. Her gaze returned to the ornate chest, and she felt a strong pull towards it. Carefully, she opened the chest to reveal a large, shimmering crystal. The crystal glowed with a soft, golden light, and Ignisia could feel its immense power. "This is it," Ignisia said softly. "This is what we need." The dragon nodded approvingly. "The crystal of eternity. It holds the power to protect and heal. Use it wisely, princess." With the crystal in hand, Ignisia and Flare made their way out of the dragon's lair and began the long descent down the Crimson Mountains. The journey back was arduous, but the knowledge that they carried a powerful artifact kept their spirits high. As they returned to Solaria, they were greeted with joy and relief by the people of the kingdom. Ignisia and Flare had brought back a powerful tool that would help protect their home from any future threats. Back in the castle, Ignisia placed the Crystal of Eternity in a place of honor, where its magic could be harnessed for the good of the kingdom. With the crystal's power, they strengthened Solaria's defenses, healed the land, and ensured the prosperity of their people. And so, the adventures of Princess Ignisia and her loyal Firebird friend continued, each new journey bringing them closer to the heart of Solaria's magic and mysteries. For in the realm of the Phoenix Princess, every day was a new adventure, filled with wonder, bravery, and the unbreakable bond of friendship. The Adventures of the Phoenix Princess. Chapter 9, The Isle of Echoes. In the sun-drenched kingdom of Solaria, where magic flowed through every living thing and the skies were always a brilliant blue, Princess Ignisia and her loyal Firebird, Flare, were ever eager for new quests. Their latest adventure would lead them to a place whispered about only in legends, the Isle of Echoes, a mysterious island where every sound is said to hold magical power. One evening, while exploring the castle's highest tower, Ignisia discovered an ancient map hidden within an old, dusty tome. The map depicted a distant island surrounded by treacherous waters and shrouded in mist. According to the accompanying text, the Isle of Echoes held ancient secrets and powerful artifacts, guarded by the very echoes that gave the island its name. "Flare, look at this," Ignisia said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "The Isle of Echoes. Imagine the wonders we could discover there." Flare chirped enthusiastically, his fiery plumage reflecting Ignisia's excitement. With their minds set on the new adventure, they began preparing for the journey. They gathered supplies, studied the map, and consulted with the castle's scholars to learn as much as they could about the island. Early the next morning, Ignisia and Flare set off, traveling by horse and cart to the coastal town where a ship awaited them. The journey to the coast was filled with anticipation, and as they neared the sea, the sound of waves crashing against the shore filled the air. The ship they boarded was captained by an experienced sailor named Captain Marlowe, who had heard tales of the Isle of Echoes, but had never ventured there himself. "It's a dangerous journey," he warned, his eyes serious. "The waters are rough, and the island is said to be cursed, but if anyone can make it, I believe it's you, Princess." Ignisia smiled confidently. "Thank you, Captain Marlowe. We are prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead." With the ship's sails unfurled, they set course for the Isle of Echoes. The journey was long and arduous, with fierce storms and turbulent seas testing their resolve. But Ignatia's determination and Flair's unwavering spirit kept them going. After several days at sea, the island finally came into view. It was shrouded in a thick mist, and the sound of strange, haunting echoes filled the air. As they approached the shore, the crew lowered a small boat to take Ignicia and Flair to the island. "Good luck, Princess," Captain Marlowe said as they disembarked. "We'll be waiting here for your return." Ignicia and Flair rowed to the shore, the mists swirling around them. As they stepped onto the sandy beach, the echoes grew louder and more distinct, each sound reverberating with a magical energy. "This place is incredible," Ignicia murmured, her voice echoing back to her with an ethereal quality. They ventured inland, following the map's directions to the heart of the island. The landscape was otherworldly, with strange plants and glowing fungi lighting their way. As they walked, the echoes seemed to guide them, whispering secrets and ancient knowledge. Their path led them to a large, open clearing where a massive stone structure stood. The structure was adorned with intricate carvings and symbols, and at its center was a large, circular portal. Surrounding the portal were 4 crystal obelisks, each pulsing with a different color of light. "This must be the heart of the Isle of Echoes," Ignicia said, her voice filled with awe. "But how do we activate the portal?" The echoes around them seemed to grow louder, and Ignicia realized they were forming a pattern, a melody of sorts. She listened carefully, trying to decipher the sequence. "Flair, do you hear that? The echoes are guiding us." Ignicia began to mimic the melody, her voice resonating with the echoes. As she sang, the crystal obelisks began to glow brighter, and the portal started to hum with energy. Flair joined in, his chirps blending harmoniously with Ignicia's voice. The portal shimmered and opened, revealing a swirling vortex of light. Ignicia and Flair stepped through, finding themselves in a vast, ancient hall filled with more crystal structures and strange artifacts. The air was thick with magic, and the echoes here were even more powerful, each one carrying the weight of centuries of knowledge. In the center of the hall stood a grand pedestal, upon which rested a large, glowing orb. Ignicia approached it cautiously, feeling the immense power radiating from within. "This must be the Heart of Echoes," Ignicia whispered, "the source of the island's magic." As she reached out to touch the orb, a figure materialized before her. It was a tall, ethereal being with shimmering skin and eyes that glowed like stars. "Welcome, Princess Ignisia," the being said, its voice resonating with the echoes. "I am Echo, the guardian of this realm. You have proven yourself worthy to wield the Heart of Echoes." Ignicia bowed respectfully. "It is an honor, Echo. How can we use this power to protect Solaria?" Echo's eyes glowed brighter. "The Heart of Echoes can amplify your magic and allow you to communicate across great distances. It can also reveal hidden truths and secrets. But you must use it wisely, for its power is immense." Ignicia nodded, understanding the responsibility that came with such power. "We will use it to protect and guide our kingdom." With Echo's blessing, Ignicia took the Heart of Echoes, feeling its energy merge with her own. As she and Flair stepped back through the portal, they found themselves once again on the island, the portal closing behind them. The journey back to the ship was filled with a sense of accomplishment and anticipation. Captain Marlowe and the crew welcomed them back with cheers, and they set sail for Solaria with renewed vigor. Back in the kingdom, Ignicia used the Heart of Echoes to strengthen Solaria's defenses, communicate with distant allies, and uncover hidden threats. The magic of the Isle of Echoes became an integral part of the kingdom's prosperity and security. And so, the adventures of Princess Ignisia and her loyal Firebird friend continued, each new journey bringing them closer to the heart of Solaria's magic and mysteries. For in the realm of the Phoenix Princess, every day was a new adventure, filled with wonder, bravery, and the unbreakable bond of friendship. Adventures of the Phoenix Princess. Chapter 10, The Enchanted Forest of Mirrors. In the vibrant kingdom of Solaria, where sunlight danced on every leaf and magic flowed through every stream, Princess Ignisia and her faithful firebird Flair were always ready for their next adventure. Their latest quest would take them to a place known only in myths, the Enchanted Forest of Mirrors, a mysterious place where reality and illusion intertwined. One evening, while perusing the castle's ancient archives, Ignisia discovered a scroll that had long been forgotten. The scroll spoke of a forest filled with magical mirrors that held the power to reveal hidden truths and grant visions of the future. Intrigued by the possibilities, Ignisia knew she had to find this forest. Flare, Ignisia called, her eyes sparkling with excitement. We've found our next adventure. The Enchanted Forest of Mirrors holds secrets that could help us protect Solaria. We must find it. Flare chirped enthusiastically, his fiery feathers reflecting Ignisia's excitement. They gathered their supplies, studied the scroll, and prepared for the journey ahead. Early the next morning, they set off, following the ancient map inscribed on the scroll. Their path took them through lush meadows, across sparkling rivers, and finally to the edge of a dense, shadowy forest. The entrance to the Enchanted Forest of Mirrors was marked by two ancient trees, their trunks twisted and intertwined to form a natural archway. "This must be the entrance," Ignisia said, her voice filled with wonder. "The Enchanted Forest of Mirrors." As they stepped through the archway, the air grew cooler, and a sense of magic and mystery enveloped them. The forest was unlike any they had ever seen, with trees whose bark shimmered like glass and leaves that sparkled like gemstones. Everywhere they looked, reflections danced in the air, creating an illusion of endless pathways. "This place is incredible," Ignisia whispered, her voice echoing softly. They ventured deeper into the forest, following the directions on the scroll. The path was winding and filled with strange magical creatures that flitted in and out of the shadows. As they walked, Ignisia noticed mirrors of all shapes and sizes embedded in the trees, each one reflecting a different scene. At first, the mirrors showed only mundane images, trees, animals, and the sky. But as they ventured deeper, the reflections began to change. Ignisia saw visions of her past, memories of her childhood, and scenes from her adventures with Flare. The mirrors seemed to be testing her, revealing her innermost thoughts and feelings. After hours of walking, they reached a clearing where a large, ornate mirror stood on a pedestal. The mirror's frame was adorned with intricate carvings and gemstones that glowed with a soft, ethereal light. "This must be the heart mirror," Ignisia said, her voice filled with awe, the source of the forest's magic. As she approached the mirror, the surface shimmered and changed, revealing a vision of a dark force threatening Solaria. Shadows crept across the land, and the sun's light grew dim. Ignisia knew that this vision was a warning, a glimpse of a possible future that she had to prevent. "We must find a way to stop this darkness," Ignisia said, determination in her voice. "The heart mirror must hold the key." The mirror's surface shifted again, revealing a series of ancient symbols. Ignisia recognized them as a spell, a powerful incantation that could banish the darkness and protect Solaria. But to complete the spell, she needed to find 3 magical artifacts hidden within the forest. Guided by the mirror's visions, Ignisia and Flare set off to find the artifacts. Their journey took them to the farthest reaches of the forest, where the mirrors grew even more enchanted, and the challenges more daunting. In a grove filled with shimmering willows, they found the first artifact, the Crystal of Clarity. To obtain it, Ignisia had to solve a riddle posed by the mirror reflections of wise old sages. Using her wit and wisdom, she deciphered the riddle and claimed the crystal. Next, they ventured to a glade where the moonlight turned the trees into silver. Here, they found the second artifact, the Orb of Insight. To retrieve it, Ignisia had to face her deepest fears reflected in the mirrors. With Flare's support, she confronted and overcame her fears, gaining the orb. Finally, they reached a waterfall that cascaded into a pool of liquid light. At the bottom of the pool lay the third artifact, the Amulet of Courage. Ignisia had to dive into the pool and navigate through an underwater maze of mirrors, each one showing a possible future. Guided by her unwavering determination, she found the amulet and surfaced triumphantly. With all 3 artifacts in hand, Ignisia and Flare returned to the heart mirror. As she placed the artifacts before the mirror, the symbols on its surface glowed brightly, and the spell began to take shape. Reciting the incantation from the scroll, Ignisia unleashed the combined power of the artifacts. The heart mirror's light intensified, casting a brilliant glow that spread through the forest and beyond. The shadows in the vision receded, and the sun's light grew strong once more. The heart mirror pulsed with a final burst of energy, sealing the spell and ensuring Solaria's protection. Exhausted but triumphant, Ignisia and Flare watched as the forest returned to its peaceful state. "You have done well, Princess Ignisia," a voice echoed from the mirror. "The darkness has been banished, and Solaria is safe. Remember the lessons you have learned here, for they will guide you in the days to come." Ignisia bowed respectfully. "Thank you, Heart Mirror. We will always protect our kingdom." With their mission complete, Ignisia and Flare made their way back through the enchanted forest of mirrors. The reflections in the mirrors now showed scenes of hope and light, a testament to their victory. As they stepped out of the forest and into the warm sunlight, Ignisia felt a renewed sense of purpose and strength. They returned to Solaria, where they were greeted with joy and gratitude by the people of the kingdom. Back in the castle, Ignisia placed the artifacts in a place of honor, where their magic could continue to protect and guide Solaria. With the power of the Heart Mirror and the lessons learned from their adventure, they ensured the kingdom's prosperity and safety. And so, the adventures of Princess Ignisia and her loyal firebird friend continued, each new journey bringing them closer to the heart of Solaria's magic and mysteries. For in the realm of the Phoenix Princess, every day was a new adventure, filled with wonder, bravery, and the unbreakable bond of friendship.